well, is this working? I think it is. Anyway, so basically, this definitely isn't a scripted video. Don't even look at the information, even though you probably came from there. But, basically, this is a tutorial video on how to use the new lands feature. Don't worry about that. So yeah, let's just get right into it. This video's gonna be kind of bad because it's like it's unscripted. Well, it's scripted. Well, it's scripted, but like it's not edited. So, I'm gonna get my alternative account on. But let's just talk about the basic information, okay? Basically, the lands feature is basically for protecting your land and buildings and items from other players and natural occurrences. You can set a variety of natural flags. So if we look at these, we have all these natural flags, and you can set up roles, which has action flags and management flags here. And we'll go over those later. Yeah, as you can see, you could create roles and assign them to other players who are trusted in your land. You could set, areas of your land, which you can do quite a few things for those. You can have different roles for those areas. There's lots of stuff you can do, like opens up many opportunities and allows the community to come in, Like, for example, you can make an apartment building, a hotel using all these, and you can make a store and have a staff room. There's so many opportunities with these areas and just stuff. You can do wars. So wars use lands to manage. And basically the way those work, the group at the end has the time period has wins, basically. You can ban players from your land, which basically prevents them from even going into your land. If you do /L map, you can see basically a map. So this is wilderness, this is mine, this is my location, and then land I don't own. But if you also go to /map, you can view the lands on there. So all commands can use /lands, and you can do one of these, /L or /land. It's however you want to do it. So I'll probably say areas, but they're sub areas basically. But they mean the same thing. Sub areas and areas, they're the same thing. So yeah, if you go to server information, and you click the titles, you can go to this specific segments of the video. Let me make sure I'm still recording. But anyway, after that, let's hear a word from our sponsor, okay? So this video is, in fact, sponsored by Grassblade 87. Grassblade number 87 here. So yeah, we are being sponsored. He has 99% grass and 87% water. So he is a solid and has atoms. So make sure you go check him out. Grassblade number 87. We better thank our sponsor here. So yeah. Anyway, after our sponsor, okay, that was our sponsor of this video. Make sure you check him out again. Very, very important. But let's go over setting up a land. Okay, so basically, one very useful command is /view. Okay, with /view you get these particles. Keep in mind you won't be able to fly. I'm just flying around. But red, you get your basically information about the land you're in, and you can view the info, when it was created, who owns it, and their war statistics. nation, don't even worry about that. In fact, I'm gonna actually remove that. The chunk that you're in, what area you're in tax, don't worry about that either. That's not even a thing. And then description. So I'm gonna go over here and we'll create a new land. You can only, you can't be, like, you must be within 2 chunks of another player. Like, you can't be, like, right next to them unless you're allowed to be, which you can set. But I'm just gonna go over here, /land, create, and then the name, so we'll just say tutorial, and we created our land. But we actually haven't claimed any land, okay? Basically, first off, let's go over some prices. Actually, we'll do that later. But basically, when you create your land, you can then, claim, basically, chunks. You always claim chunks. So, if I do /claim, I claim this chunk. The first one's always free, just by the way. And then you can go and claim each chunk by roaming around and do /claim. But let's say you want to claim a bunch of land, but you don't want to go over to every single chunk. What you can do is /selection, and you get this selection tool. You just click on the block that you want selected first. You can either right click or left click, it doesn't really matter. So we have our first one, and let's say we want to go to this tree right here. Then we select that, and we can click. You can see we have our selection here. If you go off, the mode will disable. We'll do this again. Let's go to here this time, and we'll do /claim. Keep in mind your claimed land must be connected. If it's not connected and you're like over here, I think I'm, okay, it shouldn't be able to do that, but I'm pretty sure that, it's just because I'm the owner. But we're gonna create a square here, and if you're like flying up with like an elytra or something, and you want these borders to stay, you can do /view stay, and oh my gosh. There. What the heck is wrong with this? View, disable, view. Hang on a second. Just hang on. Okay, I think the server's just lagging. What the heck? Okay, jeez. Now stay there. I hate you. I freaking hate you. Okay, now stay. Good boy. Okay. That may or may not work. Okay. Anyway, we're gonna move on. Because I got very irritated. Okay. But yeah, now once you created your land, you can start mentioning. Oh yeah, and the view times out in like 5 minutes. So if you do /L, as you can see, I have listed my lands, and then here's the navigation menu where you can manage everything. Okay. But before we look over that, we're gonna look at. So if you do menu, you need to do here. So this will open up. What the heck? I think that's the wilderness. Okay, well, whatever. Main, basically, here's the main menu, okay? You have a list of all the lands. You can't teleport, only I can, and you can right-click to view the information of that land, okay? your invites, so invites you are, so people who invite you to their land, you can view them here. And then your limitations, obviously, so basically, mine are unlimited, but your guys' limitations will be owned lands. You can have 8. You can have, you can be a part of 87 lands, and there are 87. You can have 87 members in your land. Obviously, the server does not have 87 members, so don't even worry about that. 87 is just a good number, okay? Don't question it. Most of you should even get that reference anyway, so. You can have 450 chunks per land. You can have 10 rolls per land, and you can have 15 areas per land, okay? Basically managing, it's pretty simple. If you can figure out a menu, you should be able to figure out how to use this. It's pretty straightforward, okay? You can add players, so we'll go over this, okay? So here's the information line and the management line, okay? Here are your trusted players. Okay, so we'll add my alt account. I don't even know if they're on. Let me just get them on right now. But you can't modify yourself, okay? It don't let you, okay? It just doesn't work. Okay, my alt is getting on. Okay, they should be on. Alright. So now they are a member of our land, and you can see them here. You can't go any lower than the member role, and you can go up to admin and any other roles you have, okay? Currently, this does not work, for, Bedrock players. If you middle click, you can view some more information. But the way for Bedrock players, you can do this, if you do L, hang on, it's somewhere up in here. I think it's player and then their name. Actually, no. It's like assign. No, I don't know. Oh my gosh. Sorry. You don't have that. Nor do you have admin, by the way. But you have. It should be set role, and then their name, and then the role. Okay. That's how you would do that on Bedrock Edition. You can do /L top, and this is basically the the top lands for basically the server. You have chunks, you can sort by balance, but that's disabled. And then the amount of members. Okay, and then here you can go between pages. You can view all the commands with /L help, and then you can click these arrows to navigate through the pages. We'll go over most of them, but not all of them, okay? Let's continue with management. So we have invites. So basically, invites that you have sent in your land. Inbox, basically like logs of what's been happening, and statistics of your land. You have natural flags. So here you have pistons from the wilderness. You can just click on them to enable it or disable it. TNT block damage, animal spawning, fire spread, water flow in from the wilderness, and snow melt, plant growth, and leaf decay. Alright. And then you can now, so here are your rules, okay? What I'm going to do, I'm going to hold, let's say, a sword in my hand, and we'll see later, okay? basically, you click on roles. We'll create a new role. We'll just say tutorial role. So here it is. You have the information line and the management line just like before. So you view the members of this role. So we'll go, also you can move them up. This does not work on Bedrock Edition. You'll need to get help from a Java Edition player. But we'll promote them to tutorial world. Oh, and by the way, if you want to rename, you can actually do /colors, and you can use these color codes. So if I do @9 for blue and then tutorial, it changed the role name to tutorial like that. Pretty cool. So now, as you can see, we have this player here, and then we can change the icon to a sword. As you can see, it will change that. And then we have our action flags. So trample farmland, open containers, open doors, use redstone, pick up items, use inner pearls, block ignite, just general interaction, which is basically just like these things. Trade with villagers, attack players, place blocks, use vehicles, attack animals, attack monsters, break blocks, enter this area, and then open trapdoors. You can enable and disable these however you like. Management flags, and then it's like managing the land. Untrust players, manage bans, trust players, claim land at border. That is basically what I was talking about before, how there was like a 2-chunk distance that you can claim from another land. If they have this enabled, then they will be able to claim land right next to you. Okay. And then you can assign area, set roles, edit natural flags, claim and unclaimed land, edit and miscellaneous settings, and then edit role flags. We already did these. And then this is, student members of this role will be automatically added to new areas with this role. So if we set that to yes, basically like players who are in this role will automatically be added to an area. So we'll create a new area next. Tutorial area. Most of these. So as you can see, you need to set this up, okay? So in your land, we can now create an area. So we'll do selection like we did before. We'll select this. Now, keep in mind, areas do depend on Y level, okay? That's very important. So, like, if you're doing, like, an apartment building or, like, a hotel, then you probably will have multiple floors. If you're doing, you know, basic building, you probably have multiple floors, so you'll need to set the floor levels, okay? That's just an example. So we'll select down here to up here. If you don't have floors and you don't care about Y level, then do /selection expand. This is useful for if you are selling or renting an area out to other players. You want to make sure that it goes all the way from the top to the bottom, okay? So they can use that whole Y level, or you can just do whatever you want. So I'm not going to do that, but we're going to do /assign, and we'll assign this to our tutorial area. So now you can see the borders here, and then these should go down to here, as you can see. Now, with this area, we can do some more modifications. Go into the area. We have more stuff. We have the miscellaneous settings where you can change the description, so like test or something, I don't know. You can rename it, and then set the icon. Just hold the whatever you want the icon to be in your inventory. Actually, yeah, okay. you can set trusted players. As you can see, our basically our alt is already a trusted player because we set that in the role that he has. Remember? Hopefully you should. And then you can promote and demote them in here. If you demote them to member, I don't think... Yeah, they will only be... so they'll still have the tutorial role for everything else, but for this area they will have the member, okay? Invites, basically same thing from before. Natural flags, you can basically just set different natural flags, and you can add and delete different roles like we've gone over before. And the last thing is miscellaneous settings, which is, so this is the enter message. You have placeholders, so if you right click, which you can do on Bedrock, so yeah, then when you walk into the land, it won't display title, but if you said to yes, then it will. So let's just do like, we can use color codes again, so at 3, hello, and then we'll do, I think it was member, or we'll just do buy, and we'll bold this, because why not, buy, and then we'll do percent owner, percent. So owner, and then nation, that's not even a thing, so don't worry about that. So now if we enter this land, tutorial, hello, bye, nice, that's working fine, and then you can change the name here. So yeah, that's managing land, pretty cool. There are, if you go into the managing a land in server info, there are a few equations there that you can follow to basically calculate pricing, okay? And that is what we're going to go over next, okay? Okay, so next up on this list is pricing. I'm just going to say it. But creating land costs $1,000, okay? Keep in mind, don't complain about the pricing. You're protecting your land. You're preventing players from even just breaking stuff, okay? It's very powerful, so don't complain. Oh my gosh, the prices are too high. No, don't. Just stop. No, I don't want to hear it, okay? So claiming chunks. So your first chunk is free, like I said before. And after that, it is $100. So your second one is $100, and then after that it's the previous cost plus 10. Okay, so basically, let's say I paid $225 for this chunk right here. Oh, this chunk. The next chunk I paid for, so I said $220 for this chunk right here. Then my next chunk would then be $230, so it gets more expensive each chunk, okay? And then rename a land costs $250 with a 30-minute cooldown. That's just to prevent abusing. And then setting a new owner costs $250. What I would do for that is, if you're transferring ownership, make them pay that money, or there's another way to get around that, which you can see later. So now that I think about it, I actually don't know why that's even a thing. But I'm gonna keep it anyway, because I don't care. Next up is renting and buying. So in order to set up one of these, you'll need a sign, okay? We'll just grab an oak sign here. And here we have an arrow. So we're going to go over renting. It's a pretty cool feature. First off, they're cool features. It's another way to make money on the server. Another way. Let's go. And you can rent out areas to other members and sell land. And sell land so that other people can be the owner. And you can actually view stuff up for rent in the rent list, which there are none at the moment, but you can see them here, and then you can sort by size, cost, price to blocks ratio. That's pretty cool. So for rent, okay, it does depend on Y level, like I said before, with the areas, and just use selection expand to expand that. But in order to set this up, you want to do either L, land, or lands, because they all mean the same thing as the top. It's just indicating that you're doing an action with the lands plugin. And then the next one down will be rent, because you're setting up a rent. And then basically this next one will be how many days, minutes, months, seconds, years, or whatever you want your how often do they need to pay rent? Okay, so every minute they need to pay rent. Okay, we'll just say 3 minutes. Okay, and then you put a space. This is optional, but you can put the maximum time they can rent for. We'll just say 60 days. Okay, next line is the cost, so we'll just do $2. So every 3 minutes, from up here, every 3 minutes, then you pay $2, and they can rent up to 60 days. Click done, and you can get this fancy sign. If you break blocks, it's easy to see. So here it shows all of our information. Okay, our rent teleport area. You click it to rent. $2 each, 3 minutes. Max duration 60 days, and then click to rent. Okay. We're going to teleport my alt over here, and he is going to rent. So we'll click. We're already trusting this area. So the player can't be trusted. Okay. So you just go to what we can do. We can go to the area specifically and untrust them from here. Now we can rent it. So now it basically shows who's buying. So the alt account, 3 minutes left for his rent, and $2 for every 3 minutes. And then he can click again to add more time, and he can crouch click to cancel. So that's pretty cool. And if I shift click, I can get my sign. Hey, I don't really care. So I recommend just placing a block and then doing it. And then, oh wait, hang on a second. Alright, so basically he's still buying it. Even though I removed it, I just removed the offer. So he's still buying it, okay? So if I do L rent, we have the info. So actually, I need to reset that. But you can either cancel. This is if you are currently renting an area. You can remove an offer, like, from a ways, and you'll get your sign back. And then you can remove. This is for admins. You can remove the person. So if you just click it, you can do confirm. There we go. Okay. We did it. Okay. So, trash, L, rent, info. Now we have the rent info. You can click to view the whole area, and then if he starts buying stuff, Let me do L rent, remove him. This will remove him, but he would have paid back his money, okay? So, yeah. And if we L rent, remove offer, it will remove. I'm pretty sure you actually don't get your sign back. So you probably just want to walk up and click to get your sign back, but I mean, I don't think it really matters. It's just a sign, so you know what, whatever. So yeah. We'll go over selling. So rents can only be used in areas. If you want to sell something, which is basically the same thing, people can then buy your stuff. So you have L, sell, and then the cost. Okay. We can do the same thing to remove it, and then we can put it back. Okay. So basically, you can pay $55 to buy this whole land. You'll be the owner. So alt account here is gonna walk over and purchase the land. It went away. If we do L, we are trusted in this land now. So now we have member, but now my alt account is now the owner. What the heck? He stole it from me. No, you didn't actually. So yeah. Moving on to the last thing of this cool feature is wars, okay? So this is my land over here. We are going to do war. So here, if we do war, there aren't any upcoming wars. Everything is peaceful. That's pretty cool, okay? Now, we can, if you do deny, you will deny a request. We do declare, we can declare a war on to tutorial, which is now my alt's account. Oh yeah, I'm trusted. Let me just, untrust myself. Here we go. So now I'm untrusted. What the frick? Hang on a second. Hang on. Okay, I kind of forgot that, I think, somewhere in one of these, what? Okay, I figured something out. Also, I forgot to mention, if you are part of a rent, if you're renting an area, you can basically modify all the flags and roles of that area, but you can't modify the actual land, just the area, okay? Forgot to mention that. So now I should be able to declare war. I fixed it. I was apparently part of an area, so. Tutorial. There we go. Oh, they freaking have a war shield. Admin. Land tutorial shield reset. Yay! Yay! You can't do that, by the way, so don't even try. Anyway, so you can set the tribute. The tribute is basically the amount the other player needs to pay in order for them to surrender, okay? If it's set to 0, no one can surrender. Okay. So during a war, the attackers and the defenders. So the attackers are the players sending the war declaration, and then the defenders are the people who are receiving it. If a declaration is not accepted in 2 days, it will be deleted. And attackers must have a minimum balance of $3,000 to start a war. In order to win, your team must have the most kills by the end of 2 days, 2 real-life days, okay? Players during a war will be hidden on the map, so don't even try checking. And there must be a minimum of 1 player online for each team in order for the lands to be damaged, okay? So if I'm on and the other team isn't, I can't destroy their land. There is a 1-minute logout count cooldown though, so keep that in mind. Maximum tribute size is 50% of the owner of the other lanes. So my ult account, let's say they have $50, I can set a maximum tribute to 25. Okay, so I'm gonna add $6. Then I'm gonna send the war declaration, okay? Okay, sorry about, I did something real quick, nothing happened, okay, just, my gosh. Alright, okay. Like I said, the winners of the war will take 50% of the other team's balance, which is basically just the owner's balance, okay? If you're on Bedrock Edition and want to accept a war invitation, you can't click in chat, obviously, so what you need to do is /war, declare the name, and then confirm or accept or whatever. Okay, so now, it said they successfully declared a war, and we'll start, oh, that happened. Funny. So there is a 6-hour, preparation, okay? So just keep that in mind. And if we do /war, here is the war menu. So here you can see the attackers and the defenders, and some information. Here you can see some things you could do and just information. And then the tribute, right click to surrender, and then left click to set it. The other players cannot do that. But, so, I don't know if I can show you this or not. Hang on. Okay, so unfortunately I cannot show you what wars look like, but this is war combat, what it's supposed to look like. Okay. Okay, that is about it with the lands plugin. I hope this all makes sense. If you have any more questions, create a ticket. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed. If this was helpful. And again, if you find any bugs, report them immediately. Any mention of nations, taxes, or anything that just doesn't exist, okay, report them to me and I'll fix that. So yeah, thank you for watching, and yeah, bye. Okay.